My favorite kind of games tend to be ones that are so outside the box it's difficult to describe them. Here are the top 10 free weird Itchio games you don't know about. Little Bartmares is a strange parody twist on the Little Nightmares games, having you play as Bart Simpson in a nightmarish Springfield. Much like Little Nightmares, you traverse through various locations while doing platforming and solving basic environmental puzzles. However, instead of giant monsters, you avoid disturbingly scary Simpsons characters. The controls can be clunky, which caused me to retry a few parts, but I enjoyed seeing different Simpsons characters and how each new situation would unfold. The environments are really well crafted, with lots of Easter eggs you'll recognize if you're a fan of the show. If you're looking for a creepy Simpsons game, then I recommend Little Bartmares. Boulder Bunch is a first-person platformer where you jump from boulder to boulder to get to the bottom of a mountain. If you've ever played Cluster Truck, you'll recognize the gameplay of jumping between moving platforms while dodging obstacles to reach the end, but the controls are a bit different here. You're able to click on boulders within range to latch onto them, and can ride them for as long as you want. Most of the time you'll be rapidly hopping between them though, since you can't steer and have to dodge obstacles and not touch the ground since both instantly kill you. It's very momentum based, and every restart the level plays a little bit differently because of how the boulders move down the terrain and bounce off one another. If you're looking for a frantic first-person platformer, then I recommend Boulder Bunch. My Legs Got Tubed is a goofy platforming game where you control a stickman's broken legs to retrieve his new legs. The controls are very similar to Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, but your mouse controls legs instead of a shovel. Levels are designed for you to awkwardly maneuver your legs to jump over obstacles. There are 3 levels, each with a different theme that challenges you in a new way. If you're looking for a funny platforming game with unique controls, then I recommend My Legs Got Tubed. Sugary Spire Exhibition Night is a pizza tower-inspired fast-paced 2D platformer where you speed through levels to find secrets. The primary form of movement is centered around this purple scooter you ride around that's fairly complex yet intuitive. Not only can it climb up walls, it also destroys both enemies and blocks in your path. Build up enough speed and you can break through special blocks and turn into a pogo stick to jump to otherwise out of reach areas. There are only 4 levels in the game, but each one has a different candy theme with unique one-off mechanics like a Donkey Kong style minecart or this pepper grinder inspired digging mechanic. At the end of the stage, there's a giant red gummy bear you hit which triggers the end of the level sequence, having you race back to the start in a remixed level layout. If you're looking for a polished pizza tower inspired game with fluid movement, then I recommend Sugary Spire Exhibition Night. Better Call Saul Kart is a kart racing game where you can play as Saul Goodman and his friends. There are 9 different characters to play as, but you know I had to go with my boy Hector, who gets a tricked out off-roading wheelchair. There are 3 courses in the game, each with a different theme. As for the gameplay, it's basically just a really bad Mario Kart. The only controls are steer and throw items forwards or backwards. But at least you'll be familiar with all the items since those are ripped straight from Mario Kart 2. Anyways, if you're looking for a stupid and simple kart racer, then I recommend Better Call Saul Kart. Hamelin's Journey is a monster collecting RPG where you explore a mysterious world to capture and train spirits. You start out with just one spirit, but unlock new ones by killing enemy spirits, which can then be equipped at the surface. Combat plays like a bullet hell game where you avoid enemy projectiles as your spirits automatically fire at the closest enemy in range. Spirits get leveled up in combat and unlock up to 5 various passive abilities like Quicken, which makes you move faster, or Glass Cannon, which gives you increased attack but less health, for example. I do wish the combat had more variety and depth since every enemy attacks in the same way, so they all end up feeling largely the same, apart from the final boss. But if you're looking for a creepy bullet hell combat game about fighting monsters and collecting spirits, then I recommend Hamelin's Journey. Number 21 The World is a surrealistic exploration game based on the game developer's dream journal. You wake up in what is seemingly the game developer's room and are free to walk around and interact with things. Every time you interact with a person, object, or go through a door, you're transported to a new dreamlike world, with each one being drastically different from the last. There's no real objective or coherent story apart from exploring the strangely crafted worlds to see what bizarre sights lay there.
Nope.
Occasionally you're even treated to cutscenes that only add to the intrigue of these mysterious locations. If you're looking for a chill game to wander around in, filled with strange creations, then I recommend number 21, The World. Bemis, the Curse of God has you play as a bee as you take on wacky levels and bosses to ultimately fight God himself. After stinging God, he kills all bees in the world, so you go on an adventure to extract revenge. Gameplay is split between traditional levels where you fly and fight your way to the end of the stage, and boss fights where you spam the shoot button on a boss while avoiding attacks until it dies. The controls are simple but busy as you constantly hold and let go of up to move up and down precisely while spamming shoot to kill enemies and bosses. The variety in the levels and especially the boss fights keep gameplay fresh all the way through. If you're looking for a precise 2D action game, then I recommend Bemis, the Curse of God. Neko Yumi is an LSD dream emulator inspired game that has you explore a cat-filled dream world. There are 4 different areas that can be transported between, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the environment of those areas can change every time you do so. There are also randomized events that can occur to add some variety. On the menu screen, it keeps track of the amount of days you've played and cats you've collected, although nothing is explained, so I'm not sure how I even got those cats or advanced the days. If you're looking for a strange cat-themed PS1 style game about exploration, then I recommend Neko Yumi. Untitled Hand Game has you take control of a frisky hand on a stick as you help others find what they've lost. There's a bunch of random items in a box, and hands with an item pictured on it will show up on the right, indicating which item they want. You then sift through the box full of items, grab the correct one, and hand it to them. It's easier said than done though, since everything is physics-based, which makes getting to the bottom of the box difficult. The day ends once the timer runs out, and you're graded on how many items you were able to return. If you're looking for a simple physics game, then I recommend Untitled Hand Game. Those were the top 10 free weird Itchio games you didn't know about. I'll have my playlist of free Itchio games you don't know about linked in the description, as well as my video about free weird games on Steam. Thanks for watching, give me money on Patreon, and don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with this ongoing series.